Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we're we're going to bring some bad news today. Uh, yeah, I know y'all don't want to hear bad news. Well, I didn't want to hear it either. We're back to the drawing board. Uh, we're basically starting all over with this guitar. So I milled the pocket out for the switch on the last video, and I got to looking at it the other night, and it's got some cracks in it that is not acceptable for the Bison Workshop. And I wasn't real comfortable with with it being paper. It's basically pressboard, and it kind of made me ashamed to call it a guitar because it's not wood. So like I said, we're back to the drawing board. So basically, what we're going to do is start all over again. I may keep that design, I don't know, but I'll pan you down here and let you look and see what I got. Now don't you all pay attention to my mess here now. I went ahead and replaced this pick guard. I may go back with the same design, I don't know, since I've already made the pick guard. I still got to cut out for the pickups for it, and this is basically what it's going to look like. I found a rough textured material that came with a display on truck bed tonneau covers that rolls across the truck bed and locks into place, and it was just a display, and this was the housing that came off of the display. So we went and cut a piece for the switch plate, and it's really a nice snug fit. Feels really good across there. So I made that piece, and then I was getting ready to make this piece, but then I started noticing something. Let me find me a pointer here. If you look, you see a crack that goes from here to here. And then on the other side, you got a crack that goes from here to here. Well, it's headed towards, it ain't got very much further, and it's going to be heading for right here. So if this was wood, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because if it was wood, I could just kind of spread that apart and throw some glue in there and squeeze it back together and clamp it, and it would be stronger than it would be if it was bare or regular wood. And as you can see, just me pushing on it right there, it's separating, getting wider. Well, this is just old pressboard paper. So this neck will never be solid. It's always going to be floating around like a fart in a windstorm. You never know where it's going to hit. So we're going to make a new body. And if everybody remembers the gun stock I did, I'm going to do the same thing to it, to the guitar. I'm going to make it out of plywood. And if the plywood turns out to be okay, once I sanded it down, don't have a whole lot of voids in the plywood, which I'm sure it's going to. We may go bare wood if it don't have a lot of voids in it, and do it that way. If it does have a lot of voids in it, I had thought about doing. I did a test yesterday, and it didn't turn out very good. It actually sucked. Um, I took some spray paint and sprayed it in a bucket of water, and different colors. I used blue, red, and black. And I just kind of did the swirl, but I got some really big, heavy buildups of paint. So I'd like to refine this, get my test pieces looking good before I go doing a guitar. I thought about doing something like that. Um, there's other ideas that I have that I want to try, and this, like I said, this is just a test. Um, I probably will not be doing this. In fact, I'm almost certain I'm not going to be doing that. You'll have to stay tuned to see how I finish this guitar. Um, I like to do bare wood because I like the wood look, but I have an idea for this that's going to be awesome. That will not be revealed until the time comes that I'm doing it. Um, so if you want to see it, you need to stay tuned. So I think the next order of business is to go get my plywood, go ahead and cut my squares, and I have a decision to make, and that is to either go with the same design, or do a different design. I ain't quite sure how I want to do it yet. I still want to use the Strat, and that bug, get out of here. I still want to use the Strat pickups because they're good, strong pickups, and it'll have a good sound. So I'm also going to modify the tones. If you notice here, this tone, only one of them has a capacitor on it, and this one is a, let me get my seeing apparatus here. Oh wow, my magnifying glass is really dirty. Guess I'm going to have to polish that up again. But right now we've got, well, it doesn't say what size it is, but I'm gonna go with a .22, and I'm gonna do dual capacitors. I'm gonna do a capacitor on this one and a capacitor on the other tone. But when I do the capacitors, I'm going to do 0.15 on one and 0.22 on the other. That way it gives you a difference in tone. So each tone will have different varieties of tone, and they're not going to be both the same. So I've been researching this, and I think that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go to capacitors, and everything else here will be the same. And we're going with 500K pots, potentiometers, which is short for, pots is short for potentiometer. And they're on the way too, and they're going really slow. So we're going to go ahead and grab our wood and start cutting us some pieces, and we're going to where cut them the same thickness. Now right now we've got, as soon as I get my hand on my calipers. Man, I lose everything everywhere every time I go somewhere. And it's probably sitting right there in front of my face. So right now we've got, I want to try to stay with the same thickness here. See if we can find an even number here that's still livable. Alright, so far, originally it's 1 inch, 51 1/28. So we're probably going to go the thickness of 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, so it'd be 1.5 inches. Yeah, I think we're going to go 1.5 inches. Let's look and see what 1.5 inches gives us. Yeah, I think we're going to go 1.5 inches. Because when we sand it, it's going to come down a little bit anyway, so not that much, but 1.5 inches will be good enough. So we're going to cut 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood and slap them together back to back with some wood glue and glue it up. Have it ready to start cutting out our shape. I may do a different shape. Don't know yet. I'd like to try to utilize this pick guard that I've already made because it already matches this, and we already have it set for when we're going to make our where our pickups go, and I think that'll work pretty good. So stay tuned. Alright, so now what we've done here is come out here to the outside bench, and we just kind of cut this to where it was like 3/4 of an inch on the outside of each edge, so that we have plenty to work with when we go to bandsaw this out. And I made 2 pieces, this one and this one. So now we're going to go ahead and cut these. Alright, now we've got our glue ready, we've got our clamps ready, we've got our sacrificial pieces to clamp to so we don't put a bunch of marks in this. So we'll take this and move it aside. And I'm kind of concerned about my battery. It says it's almost fully charged, but it just shut off on me a while ago. So I'm having a lot of trouble with cameras, and I've just about had enough of that. About ready to go rob somebody so I can get some money to buy me a GoPro 4, Hero 4. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this. I've probably got too much on it, but that's fine. I don't know what we're going to use here for this, we can use one of these brushes here. So we want to brush this on here. And you want to cover the whole surface. You don't want to get in any cracks that ain't got no glue in it. You want that thing to squish down in there really good. Probably ain't got enough glue on here, but we'll see. And this is exactly how I done my plywood gun stock. In fact, right there's one of the pieces that I cut off of that gun stock. Alright, I think that'll do it right there. I gotta get that cleaned out because I don't want to sacrifice my thingamabob brush. So now we're going to set that on there, just like so. And then we're going to set one of these on here. And then one of these will go on the bottom. So now we've got a device, and we kind of want to do something right here, and we want to do something right here. The vise is taking care of this section, so we're going to do something here, here, and here. And this is all I have left. These and some really long ones. Find some small pieces here. Found me a piece of Luan, we'll stick it in there. And because I want to be able to walk through here still while this is drying, and we want to go in as far as we can go, get closest to the center we can get. Well, I think it's about time for me to well, that clamp ain't worth a shit. Junk ass shit, I swear to God, man. Well, I'm down to 2 clamps. That one wouldn't tighten up. These little things are wore out on it. Alright, so now we've got that side done. And hope that's going to work. Might have to turn the vise. Alright, we got her clamped. Ain't that a monster? We've got her clamped down, and now we just wait. Alright guys, I had to make a tool to take the frets out of this, and basically I didn't have nothing to use, so I went and got a pair of tile snippers and grounded that down to where it's kind of contour, and then ground these down because on a tile cutter they only go together that far. So we needed them to go all the way together, and then we needed to make it so it's real sharp. And it's not sharp enough, but it's working pretty good over here on this end. So basically I've made a fret puller. So what we're doing is we're going in and taking all these frets out. And I got to looking at this neck, and it's not a bad neck. It's not as twisted as I thought it was. But basically what I'm going to do is put just a corner of it down on there, and I'm going to push down and then just kind of wiggle it around a little bit just to get the fret to move. And then I'll get another bite, and then I'll just twist it back and forth until it's ready to come up out of there. Then I can get underneath of it completely. Once I do that, then I'll just go in, I don't know, about an 1/8 inch further each way or each time, and just walk across there and take that fret right out of there. Now you got to be careful with tear out, like I just did right there. See, that was a no-no. But I'm getting ready to sand this fretboard anyway, so I should be able to get rid of that. And this is for me anyway, so I ain't no worried about it. Should be heating it up to melt the glue. While you're doing that, you want to keep the flat part as flat as possible so that it's pushing down on it, so that it's pushing the wood down while these little strikers are hitting it. You got little horns there that sticks up, pointed, so when this pulls up, this is actually grabbing the wood like this and pushing up in it and getting a bigger bite. So I also made a fret holder so I know which ones they went into, because if I can save these, I think I'm going to save them. They don't look bad, but we'll see. I'll probably go ahead and refret them though, brand new frets. We just kind of get a little grip to it and just kind of give it a little lift, and then just walk across it ever so slightly, making sure you keep pressure straight down so that it's pushing the wood down while they're getting a hold of the wood and pulling it up. So far so good. Just walk it across. Yeah, I'm going to get the soldering iron and do the rest of these. I don't want to tear any more of that out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep that piece that came out of there and put it back in there. Just got to find a place to put it without losing it. Right there. We'll be back. So I think I'm going to end this as part 4 of the guitar build. It's more than a, oh, I don't forgot the name of the guitar. Half-breed. It's more than a half-breed. Uh, so, it's turning out to be a hobo is what it's trying to be. But anyway, I got my slick paper in today, that's sticker paper, and I tried to print out some stickers for the Bison Workshop, and look what happened. I changed the ink, put brand new ink cartridge in it, black and color. It started out beautiful, and then it started running out of ink somewhere. Brand spanking new ink, and it only got a third of the page. So I guess I'm gonna have to take my SD card and take it into a print shop and have them print them out for me. Um, Anybody wants to print those out for me, let me know. I got the SD card or the file. I can just send it to you. We'll work out something. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Later.